Heidi ho, Heidi ho, Heidi ho. So I just got finished at the gym. That's kind of time I've been a little bit negotiable on, but no longer. I'm going to start doing more mornings to get those knocked out earlier in the day. Today wasn't possible because of some things going on. But I was just watching Tony Robbins talk about where you live. And he made the point, people will move back to areas that are destroyed by tornadoes, floods, devastation, and they just continue to move back there, like beaches where it gets washed out by a massive storm or something. Then people, over a couple of years, it'll repopulate, and then it'll get wiped out again. And it's interesting because he was talking about, we get a comfort zone where it's our home, and it doesn't matter, well, that's my home, it's where I have to go, it's where I have to go, it's where I'm home, it's where I'm comfortable. It's the same thing happens with emotions. And I see this all the time, especially nowadays. It's pervasive how people are, their emotions they go to, and it comes up because now we've equated emotional issues with mental health issues, and they're not the same. People have mental health issues. It's not because they have emotional uncontrol. That's something different happening. Not controlling emotional states, that's a much simpler thing. And because people have begun trying to put that emotional issue with a mental health issue, they feel they can dump all over people whenever they want. Because, well, maybe I've got a personal mental health issue or something, which really bothers me. Because people with legitimate mental health issues, that's a serious thing. Emotionality or emotional issues, or we have continue to go back. Let's say we have anxiety, and we go back to anxiety, or we have trauma and drama in everyday life. I know people that every morning is drama. Every time they breathe is drama. Their circle of friends are drama. Their families are drama. I know people that have zero drama that you'd ever see. They're happy when they wake up. They're happy when things go wrong. They're happy when they talk to their family. They're just like, well, okay, yeah, things are kind of tough right now, but it's just going to pass. It's going to be just a minute, and we're going to move on. Robbins talks a lot about problems. People make that problem permanent because they'll see they've got a problem. It's massive and it's huge. And because we go back and tell that story again and again, it begins to gather scope and size. It gets bigger, bigger, bigger. The more that you say and repeat a problem, a challenge, an issue, the bigger it seems to get, that magnifies in your brain until it becomes your whole existence is that issue. Now, here's the damage of that is if your identification, you identify as have your life being a problem, that everything's a problem. You know, I've had people where I pointed out, I said, look, your family's happy and healthy. They said, yeah, but everything else in life sucks. It's like, well, really not. Let's stand back and look. There's one pervasive issue, or maybe two issues have come up where they see it just this massive thing, and they can't move past that. If you have challenges, always try to remember, in a year from now, you won't remember. And if you continue to repeat to people, here's what's happening, here's what I've got anxiety, I've got depression, I've got stress, I've got anxiety. The more you tell that story, the bigger it becomes, and the more it owns you. You can equate that to, Alcoholics Anonymous. I went to that when I was younger and I had a drug and alcohol problem. I lasted 3 meetings. Here's why. I didn't identify as a victim, and they flippin' did. They walked in, I'm an alcoholic drug addict. I'm an alcoholic. I'm an alcoholic. And then they would go out and they would drink coffee and smoke cigarettes, talking about all their problems after every meeting. So all they'd done is trade the alcohol for cigarettes and just being in just the worst place ever as far as talking about things. What helped me is Anthony Robbins, I heard one day say, I'm a non-drinker. I was like, so I'm not going to say that in a meeting anymore. I said it in the meeting one time. I said, they said, well, hi, I'm Andy. And they said, Andy, you're supposed to say you're an alcoholic. I'm not. I don't drink anymore. And they could not make the jump between me introducing myself in an AA meeting and not saying I was addicted to something, and just saying I was me, that I graduated from the need to tell people I was sick, because I wasn't. I was like, I don't need to drink. I drank too much, way too much in college. Ask the people I went to college with, I'll go, oh yeah, the drunk guy, the guy that was always passed out somewhere, that was me. I didn't last long in college, I'll tell you. But I was not going to say I'm an alcoholic addict. I'm a drug addict. I'm an alcoholic anymore. So I don't drink. I know people that say I've been sober for 27 years and 5 months and 4 days, and I just can't be anywhere where alcohol is. I'm sorry, that's weird. You can't be around. You haven't had a drink, and you still call yourself an addict. It's no longer about being an addict. It's about getting attention. Can I say that again? If you have been sober for years and you still tell people, I'm sober for 4 years, 5 days, 6 months, it ain't about being sober. It's about getting attention. Find a different way to get attention. You're not an addict and an alcoholic anymore. You're not. You've graduated from being addicted and stuck on something. Now you're addicted and stuck on the significance you get for being told, congratulations. And that's not healthy either. Because if you go back to, I'm weak, congratulate me because I'm weak, you in your head are just counting to the next day till you have a drink. Yeah, I've been 28 years, 9 days, 6 months, but I don't know if I'm going to make 9 days, years, 6 months in one day. You're counting until you take that next step. We have to graduate emotionally from where we are now to where we wish to be. If we don't physically step forward, and I'll take people on coaching and tell them, you're standing here, I say, I want you to see yourself graduating from where you are now to a different psychology. Step forward to me here. We'll actually have them give yourself a new name in coaching. Give yourself a new name. What name will you go by now? Well, I'll go by Rock. You know, the Rock goes from being whoever he was, Dwayne, to the Rock. He changed who he was. You look at his earlier interviews where he's this quiet kind of, he's talking about, well, I just eat meat. And now it's like, bam, I'm the Rock, Dwayne Johnson, I'm the Rock. And everybody knows who he is because he's changed personality. He graduated into a different functionality. You have to drag your physiology has to drag your psychology with it. So you need to stand up and move. Just highly recommend stand up as you're thinking about things that are wrong. Then focus and switch your brain. I'm going to think about something that's right, and I'm going to step forward into that. I'm going to step forward. Anthony Robbins calls it emotional stacking. I talked about this the other day, where you're reaching out, grabbing positive emotions. You can step out of a bad place you're in, where you're in a bad, stressful place, or you're focused on how the problems, or you're focused on your bank account. My buddy Pat used to say, we never say we're broke. He said, I'm temporarily financially embarrassed, which was the best thing ever, because it changed it. We weren't poor. We weren't broke. We were emotionally embarrassed. Oh, wow, emotionally embarrassed. We were temporarily financially embarrassed. If you find yourself in a place where you're emotionally embarrassed, or you just figure you can't take anymore, and I hear this term, I'm done. I'm so done. I can't take anymore. I just can't take it. I'm so done. The minute you say that, you're admitting that life has beat you. And you're just looking for a way out. You're not looking for a way to handle your life. You're looking for a way out. Don't admit life won. Admit that you're still fighting back and you still own your life. A problem doesn't. Another person being a jerk to you doesn't. Someone else doing something that doesn't leave you feeling the best doesn't. A breakup doesn't. A death doesn't end your life. It's a step in someone else's life that you need to graduate from. And I think the death thing clicked in my brain. That is the biggest graduation in emotion that people can go through. Because I've heard people say I've been broken and haven't been recovered from my death of my mom, my dad, my spouse, my child for decades. Yet I know people that have gone through that hell of losing a child, where they now are living a life of expansion and they're loving and it's still painful for them, but they've turned that pain into something else. That is a different thing I can't even imagine. But losing my spouse, what I learned is I'm not going to be sorry about what happened in the past anymore. I don't owe anybody an explanation or an apology for my life. I don't care what you think of me. I hope that we have a good opinion of each other, and I hope I'm able to give you a little bit of positive joy and maybe some better for your life. But if I can't, that's okay. And I said one time in a video, somebody actually said to me when we had a lunch appointment, I don't think I'll go because you're a little bit much. So, which is cool. And I realize this person, in watching them, I still see them around, they can't be hugged. They'll actually kind of hold people away from with their hand when they're hugging. And I'm a hug guy. And I'm sure I hugged them. It was a guy. It was a male. It wasn't a woman that I hugged. I'm sure I hugged him when he wasn't ready to be hugged. Because I'm kind of a hug guy. That's who I am. I compliment women and tell them they're beautiful and sexy and amazing. I tell that to my mom. She's the sexiest grandma. Beautiful, my grandma. It's not weird to me. I think women are amazing. I think men are amazing and beautiful and sexy beings. It's not meant sexually. It's meant appreciatively for they're just being gorgeous, amazing, living things. So, you got to be careful. If you're open emotional like I am a lot, you can be a little bit much. But it's okay if someone doesn't want that. But okay, I kind of got in a full circle there. I apologize. But going back to your home emotionally, if you find yourself saying the same terms negatively every day, I'm done. I'm tired. I'm so stressed out. I'm so anxious. I'm just so had it. I'm through. I'm finished. I'm worn to the good. If this is a constant, and I would be really careful about recording in your brain what you're saying, even getting a paper. What did I just do to describe my current state? Stressed, anxious, done, finished, had it, all these things, and it's coming up over and over. There's some replumbing has to go on. You've got to begin to rewire what's happening upstairs. If you do not, your life will always run at a 40% pace, because you'll always believe when things pick up and get more intense and life gets better, because when life gets better, intensity picks up. As your life gets better and more growth and more people and more love, there's more complication. There just is. If you're not ready for that, you can't handle that new pressure, that new gravity that comes with excelling and moving forward. It will eat you alive. And that's why people stay at 40%. You have to be in a position where you're moving forward and it stretches you, but not overwhelms you. And you can handle everything. It's been proven now that our brain will adapt to pain physically. Same thing happens emotionally. That's why some people will deal with a death, like walking my wife through cancer and her sickness. And out of 111 doctor's appointments over 9 months, I went to 109. After emergency room visits, there were 17. I did all 17. Of all-night stays in emergency rooms, there were 11. I did all 11. I didn't think it was possible to sleep 3 hours in 7 days and still function. I did. I blacked out at one point and pulled my car around the corner from LDS Hospital, parked it and went to sleep and have no recollection of it. I woke up there going, what happened? I went back to the hospital. It was 4 hours later, and I'd blacked out and driven up the street. I had no recollection of getting in the car, of talking to the doctor, and he actually made me go home. He said, you're not allowed to stay here. You go home now and go to sleep. I was shattered. It was the end of the first week of Nicole being in the hospital. I'd slept about 3 hours in 7 days. I was just destroyed. I was hallucinating. But I realized after I got a nap or two and I came back, I realized, okay, I'm going to be able to do this with her, because I didn't think I could. When they said she was going to die and then we were going to fight it, and I started seeing what it was doing to her after that first week, where she was immediately going into serious arrest, having to go on life support. And so I thought, I can't do this. When I was able to come back from that devastation of emotions and pain, and seeing my kids wrecked and Nicole's family wrecked, and the pain and all the people that loved her the most, and realize I could still do the job, everything clicked forward to what I could handle. Now I know I can handle anything. Hit me with a brick and I'm good. It's gonna hurt, but I'm okay with it. You have to have a place of strength to go to, and I realized I could take anything life handed me when I finally stepped up for her. But you must be willing to step up when things really suck, when the pain is at its worst. And I equate it back to exercise, weightlifting, or whatever. Your body will adapt the more stress you give it. The same thing with your emotions. When you're under unbelievable stress, your emotions will click forward and adapt to it, providing you don't stop, providing you don't say, oh, I've got it, I've had it, I've done enough, I just can't anymore. That is you letting the emotion win, letting the stress win, letting the pain win. You mustn't do that. The words to say internally would be this: I got this. This sucks. I got this. That's what I tell myself now when I'm in pain, when I'm stressed, when things are not going how I want. You know, I just found out that, and it's not even equated nearly, but some car issue. I'm not going to have my car for a couple of months. It's been damaged, and it's not my fault. It just happened. You know, somebody asked me today if I was mad. I'm like, well, I'm a little peeved, but if the worst problem I have is a car that I own and don't have payments in, that I love driving, has a problem, that's a good problem. That's like finding out that your spouse snores a little bit and then say, well, you mad at him for snoring? Well, it's a little different, a little annoying, but I love them, and I'm blessed to have someone that I really, truly love. A snoring's not going to be that big a deal. I'm broke right now. I have no money right now. Yeah, that's a pretty stressful deal. But have you been broke before? Well, yeah. Did you live? Yeah. You've been places. Excuse me. Got a hiccup. Hi, Mitt. My buddy Mitt just sent me a note on his brand new 911. He's driving, having fun. You've been in difficult places before where you thought you took everything life could handle and you couldn't handle anymore. You handled more. You moved forward. Keep that in mind, that you can keep stepping and keep moving. This is disjointed. A lot of people have tuned out already, and that's fine. But this is about making sure you know you can handle the emotions of the worst things in life. And you can come out the other side with growth and love and joy and appreciation. Or you can not handle them and watch them destroy you. But it is about choosing to do one or the other. And it's as simple as saying, I got this. Or I've had enough, I can't take it anymore. That's it. One says, let's go forward. One says, I give. One says growth. One says destruction. You have to decide and be very conscious of that decision. I wish you a good day. Thanks for listening. This is only YouTube. I'll break this up later and maybe put it on Instagram and some stuff. But I wish you the best. I'm so excited to work with Evan Carmichael's company tomorrow. I get fired up to start doing their video stuff with them, YouTube stuff with them. And I pump because they work with Gary Vaynerchuk, Alex Hormozy, Tony Robbins. I'm starting to get in the company of the people I want to be. I can't wait to get in there some more masterminds with these guys. I'm so pumped. Evan, Liam, you guys are the best. I'm so excited. Wish you a great day. Bye.